So back on the striper. So it's 2001 striper, and today we're taking out the steering actuators because it's leaking. So let me show you. This is a very common issue with these boats. 5.7. And we have the pleasure of getting back here and getting that out. So it's leaking from the seal down here, and you can see it's kind of wet. So this is gonna be a fun project. So hopefully this video helps some of you get this out. There's a pin that comes out here. There's another one down there, and there's 2 bolts that need to come off, and then this whole thing should come out. And then you take the cable out as well. What you do is you put a 9/16 and you put it right there, and then you put a 7/16 and you put it into the fitting itself right there, and then you take it off. You hold this one in place, and then you spin this one and it comes out. So this next one is 5/8, and it comes right off. These weren't too tight, which is good. And now this one, you can rotate it to get it in position. It pushes up and down. So right there, it's spinning it. You see it's moving it with the cotter pin. So I'm trying to position it better. So I push it down. So this one came off pretty easily. I just put this tool underneath here, and then yanked on it, and then the pin came out from the bottom. So now I'm gonna try to get this one. Sorry, I don't have a way to hold the camera, but I'll bring you back once I get it, and I'll let you know how I got it. You can take some thin needles nose pliers, and you can put them right in here, and then you can spin. You can spin this guy from grabbing it from down here, like right here. Yeah, like that. And it spins so you can get the pin on the other side. And right now, I managed to hook my tool under the eye of the pin once I got it in the right position. So now I just need a pull, and hopefully this thing will come out. So it's hooked on there. Just pull hard and it came out. Sweet. Got it. So both of those are done. So this one's done. Come out. This one comes out pretty easily. It's lubed up pretty nicely. This one's still a little stiff. There it goes. It's out. Okay. I felt it move. All right. So now just 2 more. Those 2. Just get them. You see them right there. There's one at the bottom. Right there. And there's one at the top. And they're facing opposite directions. So let's try to get those out. Bringing out the big guns. So I got my torque wrench. That cotter pin did not come out. From what I understand, it doesn't go through the bolt. So it just kind of holds it in place. So we're gonna try to just force it out. So let's see how this goes. You can see some of the aluminum coming off, but I just oiled it. So I'll keep it, try to go slow and see if it comes out. So I got the top one kind of loose, but the bottom one is still in there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use, it's a 24 millimeter by the way. So try to use the one with multiple 12 point socket just to be safe. Don't want to strip it. And then I'm gonna use it's a 1/2 inch ratchet, and I'm gonna use a piece of tubing right here and use it as a breaker bar. And the nice thing about the tubing is that you can slide it in and out, and it gives you different lengths to grip onto because it's real tight in here. And my big breaker bar is having trouble hooking up to the bolt because it hits down here. So with a piece of tubing, I can slide it to the right length, and then I'll have an adjustable breaker bar. So that's the plan, to get that bottom one loose at least. I know the top one's gonna come out, so I'm not too concerned about that one, but I left it on. And then I'll get the bottom one loose, and then hopefully this whole thing comes out. Something worth noting is once you get the right length, you can just tape it. It helps it prevents this thing from moving all over the place. It gets kind of annoying, especially if you're using one hand. So yeah, just put a little bit of tape once you get your right length for your breaker bar. Pro tip. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe. For now, I'm gonna get this cable off. The actual steering cable, which is what makes that move back and forth. And you just put a crescent wrench, or a 7/8, I believe is the size right there. Hold that piece of tubing, and then you come here and you start loosening that guy while you hold the wrench on that side. So I've been struggling with the bottom one, so I decided to just pull the top one all the way out, and it came out. So show you what this looks like. There she is. That's after having the cotter pin stuck. It still came out. No damage. So as you can see, it doesn't go through the bolt. It just slides in the side here. The cotter pin does, and it prevents this from coming out. Okay, so here's complication number, who knows, it's probably like 4th or 5th hard thing about this job. So these cotter pins, they are aluminum, and they're pretty brittle. Whenever you try to yank on them, they have a tendency of snapping. So not the entire cotter pin came out. So then I have to go in there and see if there's a way to get the rest of it out. Let me show you. So the bolt's still in there, but I managed to back it out enough to get the unit out. But you see those shavings? Those are the cotter pins that just got shredded from me torquing away. But it didn't damage anything because it's aluminum, which is, it's a good thing they use aluminum. I mean, that's probably the reason why, because if it's stainless steel cotter pin were to get stuck in there, you're never getting that out. So yeah, both cotter pins are still in there. So this bolt backed out just fine. So now I gotta find a way, maybe this way, to get that cotter pin out. So yeah, I'll be messing with this, trying to get that out. Somehow. Hey, for those of you that need to replace this, first you take this out. That's what we're gonna do right now. We just try to fit some drill bits. Is that a drill bit?
No, it's a precision pins.
Oh, okay, it's a pin, yeah.
Precision pins. So now they're like that. See?
Okay. And we're actually just gripping it from the body. We're gonna see if that works. We're not using anything on the shaft because we really don't want to mess with the shaft. One problem that we are encountering right now is that these don't seem to be deep enough. So we're struggling with keeping some of these pins in there. So it would be nicer if these were a little deeper, but we'll keep trying.
I got it.
Nice. There we go. All right, some love taps. That's all I needed. So yeah, we were having trouble with the wood, so we just used Durlin, which is like a rubber.
Some kind of hard plastic.
Hard plastic, yeah. So that helped out a lot. And now this is loose.
Okay, right here.
Perfect.
A screwdriver.
Okay, so that's the first one. It's like a cover, and then this is the big one that needs to come out. Basically, this, you just gotta mess with it and it comes out slowly. Oh, I think I got it.
Got it?
Yeah. And don't wedge on this because that's metal. You got to get inside. That's something that we just learned. Cool. And remember what direction the gasket came out of. So
The closed side.
the flat side faces you,
Yeah.
or faces the outside. So the thing is, you also have to bend it sideways like this. I don't think this thing bends sideways though. It's supposed to go like in a U. Let's try it. How in the world is this gonna bend sideways? I have no idea. Okay, that didn't work. All right, so here's the Penta seal update. So the shop back here, they were very nice. It's just a local hydraulic shop. They were very nice to try to help me to put this seal in, and they were unsuccessful as well. So if you look here, let me show you what this looks like. So they got the seal in for the most part, but it seems like the outer diameter is bigger than what fits into the actuator. So I don't know what to do. I don't know if I captured earlier, but when we were at the machine shop, I noticed that the OD did seem a little bigger than the original one. Oh, those two look very different.
They do?
Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
And we thought it was just something we shaved off as we were cutting the old O-ring or gasket out, but now I'm starting to think that it was a little smaller from the start. So the saga continues. But yeah, I mean, that's a good option if you have a local hydraulic shop. My advice is just show up with the part and the gasket, because as soon as you call them, they're saying nope. And I get it, it's a liability thing, but whenever you walk up, they see the, it's not too complicated, and most of them are doers, so they'll give you a helping hand. So don't be afraid, just stop by. Those pins are still stuck in there. So I'm gonna use the air tool to drill them out. So I custom made that bit. Now the bit can go in there. and drill that out slowly. So let's try it and see if this is gonna work like I think it's gonna work. The drill bit, it helped get into the groove where the old cotter pins are still stuck in, but it broke and it wasn't drilling anymore. So I decided to go to Home Depot and get some of these. So I got a number 18 3/4. It's just a stainless steel nail, and then I got one that was a little longer and a little wider. This is number 16 1 1/4. So I'm gonna try to use the hammer now that there's a groove that I can get the nail in, and hopefully that pops out the rest of the cotter pin. So wow, didn't even click record. Great. All right, so I've gone through half of this box, and they're just bending. So this seems to work, but as you can see, the second one, it's broke. It's a cheap drill bit. I think I'm gonna go get me some better ones. That seems to be working, but I'm afraid that I'm making the diameter a little bigger. But I don't think it's going to be an issue. I can always go bigger cotter pins, and once I put Loctite on the bolt, it shouldn't go anywhere. This is just an extra safety measure on top of the Loctite. But right now I got some 30-second stainless steel cotter pins, and if for some reason the diameter of the hole gets bigger while I'm drilling, then I'll go bigger cotter pins once I get a feel for it. But yeah, slow process. I mean, the nails seem to help, but the drill bit seems to do better. I was concerned that, you know, the diameter was going to get bigger, but again, I have no other option. I have to get these cotter, you know, that hole cleared so I can put the new cotter pins in. I've been defeated multiple times just now, but one step at a time. I am getting through. It's just not all the way through just yet, and there's a second one that I gotta do, so this is just the first one. But once you figure out all these little details, it should go faster. I'm gonna go get some more drill bits, better drill bits. I was kind of liking the cheap ones, because I feel like it was protect the whole diameter, but at this point I just need to get better drill bits. So let's go, let's do that. Keep plucking away. 1 centimeter, millimeter, I don't even know. It's like super micro movement. But it is getting better. I can tell that I've gotten deeper, so it's coming along. We couldn't get the cotter pins out, so I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board, figure out if I want to drill them out pretty aggressively. Today was just kind of like light drilling, but I might just have to drill them out because they didn't come out. We used these pins, precision pins, which are a little stronger than the nails that I was using, so that didn't work either. But today has been definitely a defeat, but we did have some wins. So we got the actuator back. So actuator's back, the seal is in, as you can see, and that was a lot cheaper than the $400 or $500 that they want to charge in Florida. I called Florida for some advice, and the guy there wasn't very nice. Luckily, down at Parker Place, it's like a Parker Hannafin division, and they were able to put the seal in. It did take about a week, but it was a lot cheaper. FYI, don't send it to Florida, because they weren't very nice. So I'll let you know how this goes, and if the seal works like it should, and go from there. So we had defeat, maybe one win, which is getting the actuator back. So I'm very happy about seeing this again. It wasn't the smoothest transition because we were learning, and I feel like they were learning how to put it in as well and finding the right size and everything, but they figured it out. And I'm sure if there were more, they would know what to do. I know where to go now, so that helps too, and the right people to talk to. So that's a win. But this was not. I got to figure out what I'm going to do about those cotter pins. And again, they're a secondary kind of safety measure, but it's still important. I will keep you updated. It's what happens today. It's the struggles, you know, making this happen on your own. Starting to think, I don't know. I just don't know if you hire somebody, like, maybe they got other tools that make this easier, but they're going to charge you a lot. Trying to find a way to save you some money. This boat, the actuator has been super, super difficult. It spotted us the entire way, but we're making progress. Right now, what we have going on is the cotter pins are stuck. Oh, I wasn't able to get the cotter pins that go on the bolts completely out. They're aluminum. And they, you know, as soon as you put something to pull them out, like a hook or a needle nose probably would have been better, but it's kind of tight in there. I went with the hook, and the hook sheared right through the cotter pin, or cut right through it, and then the cotter pins were stuck in there. I've been trying to drill them out for the last 2 days, and I haven't been successful. I'm slowly drilling through, but I'm concerned that I'm going to damage the mount. It doesn't really affect the bolts, but I want to do it right. I'm trying to get the remainder of the cotter pins out, and I'm just using small drill bits and taking my time. And if it feels like it's being forced, then I don't drill. But I'm at the point where I have to do something. It's been 2 or 3 days, and I need to, you know, I got all the parts and I need to put them together. It's kind of where we're at. Just want to give you an update. It's tough, but I'm gonna find a way. We'll figure this out today. So here's what I got going on. All right, so I got a bigger compressor because my compressor yesterday wasn't keeping up with my air tool. I made a bunch of bits like this. And the key is you have to make sure that this spins straight, because whenever you grind them down, they can wobble a little bit, and that's not good. So here are the other bits that I've made. Put them on the vise, and then I grind them down, and I try to make them as round as possible. What I do is I count how many times I scrape some off. And it doesn't need that much, just enough to fit into the tool. So yeah, I made a few of them because they break because they're so thin. Just bought a pack of different types and different lengths. These started me off pretty well, but then I got so deep that I needed to get some longer ones. And I'll give you the part numbers of all the bits that I use. That might help you guys a lot, because I've had to try different ones, and there's some that are better than others. And so yeah, I just made like 6 of these. So 3 of these and 3 of these, and these are 1/16, by the way. And I also have 2 30-seconds, I believe. Yeah, this one has 3 30-seconds. So this is one of the type that I've been using. The longer ones, titanium. They still break, but if you get plenty of them, if you get enough of them, you'll get through. I mean, the aluminum of the cotter pin is pretty soft, so I'm banking on the fact that it's aluminum in there, and I'm hoping that when I'm drilling, the bit will find a softer metal and it'll go through the right direction. spinning pretty straight, that's what you want. So you just gotta get good at grinding these bits down. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, plan B. Couldn't get the cotter pins out, so we drilled some holes through the bolts to act as cotter pins. Let's put this actuator in. Okay, cleaned everything up, got all the pins in order, got my Loctite. I'm using the permanent 271. From what I understand, this stuff isn't really permanent, it just holds tighter. And the 3/32 seem to be good sized pins. We're going with stainless steel instead of the aluminum that were in here. They seem to fit pretty good. Just wanted to show you guys because that's a question I had. So that should work. Actually, I think these might be a little long because these were originally for the bolts. See, for the bolts, I think it would have been good. But now we made our own holes, so don't need them. Just need them for these. All right, let's put these in. So it's lined up. I'm gonna put that pin in there and then put the bolt, and then I'll worry about stretching this guy out to here. So. Here's my solution. We made holes through the bolts, and then we put a wire on top and on the bottom here. You can see it. And that's gonna act as the cotter pin. And nice thing about this is you can get it real snug if you get the right tool, which I am gonna do here in a little bit. I'll get the right crimping tool because these aluminum things are not the easiest to crimp, but for now it's on there. We're gonna give it a try. But this might be a solution if you encounter the same problem where you can't get the cotter pin channel cleared. Hopefully that helps some people, but for now everything is on. We're gonna fill her up. Got new cotter pins in there and make sure she's not leaking. It's test time. Let's see how we did. Looks pretty dry. We're looking right there, see if there's any leakage. Okay, just looking at the seal. Just looking again to make sure we ain't got no leaks. Looks dry to me. So we'll just monitor and make sure it doesn't leak. Yeah. Might need a little bit, so I'll top it off and call it a day. Thanks for watching.